and welcome back to the Right Mortgage Network's Lending Insight podcast. I am back today as your host for this insight, Victoria Clark, Head of Lending at the network. Now, just over a year ago, we had property solutions lender Roma Finance join the Right Mortgage panel, and it's about time we get to know all things Roma. So joining me today to get really into knowing everything about Roma is Business Development Team Leader, Kerry Bradshaw. Kerry, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And how has it been a year already?
I know it's gone really fast, hasn't it? But thank you for having me. Looking forward to catching up with you guys.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. So I really just want to get stuck into it then. So just to get started, for those of you who don't know you yet, please introduce yourself and a bit about your role at Roma.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Kerry. I'm team leader for the BDEs. That's a department called the Flow Desk at Roma. So they're a team of telephone-based BDEs. So my role there is to drive new business and support the team. And then I am also business development executive for the South and Southwest. So I work alongside a senior BDM in that department as well to drive business down there.
Yeah, nice. So cover a lot of remit then for you.
Yeah, busy.
Right, and then so for those of you who are frequent listeners as well to the podcast, you know my thoughts on specialist lending and how important the need is to keep on top of knowledge in all of this sort of lending with its shapes and sizes, even if it isn't something you do yourself. So, Kerry, please can you give us a bit more of like an oversight of what the solutions are that Roma Finance has and how it sets you apart in specialist lending?
Yeah, no, of course. So obviously, as you know, we're a specialist property lender and we provide bridging, development and buy-to-let finance. So I think what sets us apart is we operate on a borrower-first approach, which just really helps with flexibility, quick decision-making and sort of case-by-case underwriting. So we're all about putting the customer at the heart of the transaction and not just underwriting, say, like the property or the deal.
Right, so it's like more about like the type of customer than anything else.
100%, yeah.
Nice. So with a few of the different product ranges that you have, so it's, am I right, with Roma Flow, Roma Grow, Roma Pro? Can you briefly explain what they all are and how they fit together?
Yeah, so we've got sort of the three ranges of products, which essentially means we're a one-stop shop for the customer. So, for example, the Flow range, that's for really speedy, really good for auction purchases, and you just buy or secure the property quickly. The Roma Grow range is where you might want to refurb or develop a property, and then the Pro range is where you're holding it long term, so we can put it on a 5-year term product for you.
And then, so is there, here as well, there's a new launch of a product as well that's just happened?
Yes, there is. We have launched our refurb buy to let product. So it's a new addition to our Pro range, and what it does, it combines sort of light refurb and buy to let into one product. So it takes away the need for having say two loans. And it's basically if your cost of works is up to 25% of a current value and will only take a couple of months to complete, we'll give you can buy it on a 6-month bridge. And then once the works are done, the loan then just sort of transfers onto a buy to let, but it allows the customer to pull out the equity because it then obviously we've stacked up the GDV on that as well.
So as well, at a time where it's probably quite volatile with interest rates and things like that, and so many people have got so many other concerns, these are probably some really useful products that can just really help people in their time of need as well.
No, definitely. And I think what we try to do as well is just, as I say, what we build on the relationships. So that's like our main focus, like building the relationships. So we know that, our partners trust us and we are always there to help, especially in times like this, which can be really uncertain.
Yeah, and then does that follow through then with your customers as well? So helping them from one project to the next?
Absolutely. Like the customer, obviously, say whether it's a customer who comes from like a broker like yourselves or, they come to us directly, they've got a point of contact sort of assigned to them for each part of the transaction. So obviously we'd have a dedicated salesperson, we'd have their underwriter, who then if they are also doing a refurb project, it would be the same underwriter that does the drawdowns for them. So we've got that continuity way through. And then when it comes to the back end as well, they've also got a dedicated customer service agent who helps them with the exit.
So obviously there's so much that goes into this sort of property and with lending. That's so good to have that much support available for the customers.
No, it is good. And like I say, we pride ourselves on it making the transaction as easy as possible for a customer and, so that then they're going to recommend us and trust us. And essentially that.
And that's, and if they are then portfolio, they can just keep coming to you, keep having the support, and that will be,
Absolutely.
yeah, really good for building up that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, or you've obviously mentioned all of those different things about keeping on with the support for the broker and then for the customers as well.
Yeah.
But so, what kind of thing do Roma actually do specifically to make sure everything keeps smoothly and timely as it should as well, especially how important it is with this type of stuff?
No, definitely. So I guess it's communication and transparency. So for example, say if at the underwriting stage, there might be a delay with evaluation, just reaching out at that point, keeping the broker and the customer up to date, because then it just, it gets rid of a need for them to then chase and obviously, be a bit like asking the questions. They just know like, okay, this is a bit behind. We don't need to chase it up. And it just gives them peace of mind that we're obviously constantly working on it and obviously preempting the issues before they have to.
Yeah, and that's so useful as well. I feel like it's just nice to just have people you can rely on. So that's, I think it's really good as if people don't really know Roma Finance, just to get to know these things about you. So just know to trust and help your customer trust you as well. So this has just been really useful and informative as well for our listeners, because I'm sure like the type of advisors we have as well really do look around and make sure that they're helping their customers as best they can for all types of pro-
No, definitely.
properties and things like that. So it's been really useful as well. There's so much to take away and thinking about all these different scenarios where Roma can help. So if our advisors want to know more, where can they find you and your team? How's the best way to get in touch with you?
So the best way to get in touch with me, as I am the account manager for the Right Mortgage, would be my details. So my number, which is 07471 035 and my email, which is kerry.bradshaw@romafinance.co.uk. And obviously, we do have more information on our website, but we also have a Roma Talks podcast series on YouTube, and it's sort
Oh,
of short
nice.
episode. Yeah, it is really. I've actually been on it. But yeah, it's sort of short episodes, and we speak with people from like across the property sort of ecosystem, as well as Roma team members as well. So it's just exploring journeys through the industry, what Roma's all about.
I think that's it. Getting scenarios, it just helps, doesn't it? Like you get to
Yeah,
understand things, and then if it could be somebody's first time helping this type of customer or somebody who has lots of these types of customers, I think just understanding how you can apply it is so
no,
helpful.
100%. And as I say, like I'm always more than happy for anyone to just reach out, even if it doesn't end up being a transaction because it doesn't work for a customer or whatever. Just I'm more than happy to give any guidance I can at any point.
No, lovely. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for going through all of those different things. And like you say, they're your contact details. Get in touch with you. I'm sure we'll be able to put them in the footnotes or something as well to go with it so advisors have that to hand. But thank you. It's been a pleasure to get to know more about Roma Finance. And thank you for joining me. And thank you as well to our listeners for your feedback as always. Please do keep sharing your questions and insights for the podcast. We love to hear them. So I've been your host for today, Victoria Clark, joined by Kerry Bradshaw from Roma Finance. Thank you and see you next time. Thanks, Kerry.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.